I love all martial arts, but Eskrima and the Filipino martial arts hold a very special place in my heart. There are many reasons why I love Filipino martial arts, and I'm going to detail them here. This video is a little long. I hope you can stay for the entire thing. The first and probably most important reason to enjoy training in something like Filipino martial arts is that the movement, any physical movement is good for you. And Filipino martial arts are one of the few arts that I know of that are absolutely adaptable to any age group. I can teach children, I can teach the elderly, and I have even taught some people who have physical disabilities. The Filipino martial arts are very adaptable to many different people, and you don't have to be super fit to do them. However, you can use them to help yourself get fit because, as I said, movement is good for you. Getting your heart rate up is good for you. You can be as gentle as you want to be, just working flow and movement. You can even go slow if you don't want to push it too hard, or you can make it as extreme as you want to be. There are many dirty moves in Filipino martial arts, and when it comes down to it, many of the Filipino systems are very, very good basis for combatives. Even Kelly McCann once said that if he was going to do any traditional martial art, it would probably be Filipino martial arts because of the focus on dirty fighting and doing whatever it takes to survive. Filipino martial arts can be trained as a cultural treasure from the Philippines. They can be trained as a combat sport. There are competitive aspects to them. And they can be a base for self-defense, to be able to use improvised weapons and to be effective with using different kinds of weapons, from blunt impact weapons to edged weapons to your empty hands. As I said earlier, these arts are very adaptable to all ages. You can make them a stick fencing style for anyone, even children. You can make them a self-defense system for people who may be a little older. And you can just do them as a way to get moving and work with older people so they can challenge themselves but not injure themselves. Getting out and getting involved with a martial arts club is like joining a community. That is one of the best aspects of Filipino martial arts for me, is the community of people I have around the gym where I teach these things. Filipino martial arts, under whatever label you give them, Arnis, Kali, Eskrima, are very good for working hand-eye coordination. You will become very, very adept at movement. And after a little bit of training, you will likely be surprised at your improvements in hand speed and hand-eye coordination. Filipino martial arts is excellent for developing a high level of skill in coordinated movement. I have even heard of some high-level MMA fighters using Eskrima as a way of helping with their hand speed. In spite of its deadly background, Filipino martial arts can teach some beautiful movement that is fun to apply just for the sake of that elegant motion. There is nothing like moving a weapon around in a way that looks appealing and at the same time has the potential to be a lethal fighting system. These arts come with an amazing history of tribal warfare and a connection to Spanish sword fighting, as well as tribal warfare, street fighting, gang violence, you name it. The Filipino martial arts have even been used in the theaters of war, from the South Pacific to elite soldiers worldwide. Filipino martial arts has been a part of military hand-to-hand training since World War II, when the Marines in the Philippines saw the value of this training. They didn't call it Arnis, Eskrima, or Kali. What they labeled it was combat judo, and it actually seeped its way into the Marines' fighting style of Gung Ho Chuan through the Marines stationed in the Philippines. It has colonial and tribal roots that stretch back hundreds, even thousands of years. But the Spanish influence, which came in the 16th century, really changed Filipino indigenous fighting systems. And while some would like to have pure Filipino martial arts, others have really explored how to bring in different fighting systems from all over the world. Modern Arnis, for example, has elements of karate, judo, small circle jiu-jitsu, and other Japanese influences, as well as boxing and other Western influences. Filipino martial arts, or Eskrima, is very pragmatic, and most Arnisadors are willing to smuggle fighting skills from every single fighting art that they are exposed to, either from allies or enemies. Also, because Eskrima is so focused on weapons, most Eskrimadors are very good at improvising weapons from what is available in their environment. This is an important part of Eskrima. This is why we practice with so many different weapons. Now, Eskrima has many of the close range weapons as Muay Thai. Eskrima has some of the best empty hand techniques on the planet. It is a bridging art, or many Eskrima systems are bridging arts, I should say, such as Balintawak, De Cordas, Herosa Eskrima, Modern Arnis, even Doce Paris has some amazing bridging techniques. Bridging is the ability to close distance from long range through middle range into corto range. Filipino martial arts is excellent for that. Arts like Balintawak specialize in this bridging. There is an incredible depth to Eskrima. It is an art that teaches stick fighting, sword fighting, knife fighting, empty hand fighting. There are some systems that even have some grappling components to them, as well as trapping, clinching, and all the stuff you need to be effective at protecting yourself. And on top of that, most of them have very effective weapon skills. The training progression usually goes stick or baston into shorter weapons such as knives, tabak maliet, and other things. Some systems have staff or tapado, which is a long stick. And after you master the weapons, traditionally, then you would go into empty hand fighting. But personally, I like to teach both empty hands and weapons at the same time, because very few of my students will be getting into altercations with weapons, but some have had to defend themselves with their empty hands before, even against opponents armed with potentially lethal weapons like knives. I've had a few students get through that situation over the years. Another thing I love about the art of Eskrima is that because of its focus on weapons, I always have something I look forward to in training. I love training with sticks, and I mean training by myself, because it is very important if you're going to do a martial art that you have the ability to discipline yourself to train on your own, because you are far more reliable than a training partner. So There's something special about picking up a stick or a pair of sticks and training with them. For some reason, for me, and this is just about me, not about anybody else, if I can pick up a stick and go through some movement with it, I will. I don't put it off. I don't go, oh, I don't feel like training this today. I always look forward to my moments of flow with my stick by myself in a semi-meditative state. This is one of the most important things that I have found about Eskrima, is that I'm always motivated to train on my own. And that is because of the beauty of the movement. It becomes a little bit addictive. I mean, just the play with a weapon such as a stick or a knife is something that is very, very fun to do. And it is never a problem for me to get motivated to use my sticks. And as you get better and better and faster, it becomes more and more enjoyable to train. My main two criticisms of Filipino martial arts is that often they get too drill oriented, and sometimes they are a little disconnected from the reality of weapons of violence. However, at its core, Eskrima is a very combative and effective fighting system. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Thank you.